episodes. This is take two. We had some issues we had to take care of earlier, so we had to kind of stop the first one. But we're back. We should be good. I don't foresee any further problems, and we should be good to go. But this is for anyone that's tuning in for the first time. This is my friend Rob. He has his own channel called Quilting in the Man Cave, and the link for that is in the description if you're coming to watch the replay. And if you are here in the chat, I am putting the link in the chat as well. So let's see who has come, and people got to come filtering back as they see the new link go up as well. So looks like Andrea is here with us today, and it's Jaw May, I think is the last. I'm going to butcher that. I shouldn't have even tried. Jyoti is back as well. Fallon, good morning. Russ is here as well, and he'll be going live today, I believe, at 11. And then I believe he's going over to be live with my friend Katie at 4 p.m. So we'll talk about who else is going live a little later on. But thank you all for coming back. Good morning, Chloe. It's good to see you as well. Donnell is here. And we are going to sew clues 3 of the puzzle mystery quilt by Cotton Cuts in the, what's it called? Tree of Life. I'm doing 2 at once, and it's really throwing me off what it's called. So I'm doing Purple Mist. And then, Rob, which one are you doing again?
I'm doing Autumn Shades.
Autumn. Yeah, that one's really pretty. Welcome back, Richard. Yeah, that was actually one of my, I think that was in like my top 3 choices. Purple Mist was my top choice because, you give me a boutique option and that's where it's going to, that's usually where I'm going to end up. So, but I'm glad to see you're doing the Autumn Shades because I think it's a beautiful colorway and it's going to turn out so nicely. Okay, so Ross says he's not live with Katie today. It's next month. Okay. Well, maybe I got confused or she told me wrong. I don't know. I won't worry about that. Good morning, Sylvia. It's good to see you. If you do have your own channel and I haven't put your link in already, feel free to drop it in at any time. Just don't spam every 20 seconds, be kind. But yeah, feel free to drop your link in. If you're not a mod, you'll have to put in your link using like exclamation point and use your first name. If you try that and it doesn't come up, just tag me and I will get you sorted out. Welcome back, Leanne. I hope everything is okay. Yes, I just had some little issues. I don't want to dwell into it, but it was something that to be taken care of right away. It's been taken care of, and now we're back into the fun quilty goodness. So I've started working on mine. I did this earlier on my first live, which we may never see the light of day again, because it was kind of a, I don't know, I felt like a hot mess the entire time. So it may just need to go onto the archives and stay there forever and ever. But Rob is doing really well. This is his first live. He is doing really well. And like I know when I did my first live, I was absolutely terrified. So I think you're doing exceptionally well with this. Let's see who else is here with us this morning. Good morning, Tessa. It's good to see you. If I missed someone this morning, I apologize. It is not intentional. It's just sometimes the chat moves too quickly and I can't keep up. Like they say guys can only do one thing at once, and I'm sewing, I'm talking, reading the chat and replying. That's what for. So I think I'm doing all right. So
You're doing
okay.
fine, Sean. You're doing excellent.
Well, thank you. Good morning. Guess who, Nancy? It's good to see you. She says, hi, Fallon. I just got your rulers yesterday. I love her rulers. I actually found a new, like, you guys know I love her quilter slide locks. I actually found a new use for this one yesterday, and I texted Fallon about it. It's really good for cutting paper. I had to help trim some sheets of paper for my wife the other day, and I immediately pulled out my slide lock because you put a ruler on a piece of paper and it just slides all over the place. But you stick that thing down and it just sticks like glue. So if you ever have to cut paper and you got one of them laying around, pull it out and use it. You'll thank me later. Okay, so Tammy's
I've
up
been
early.
wanting
Yes.
to try to get myself one of those rulers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I'm cutting a lot of strips for string quilts is one of the things that I most enjoy making. And occasionally
Yeah.
you have to cut strips.
Well, they come in the two
Uh,
sizes. They have a 14-inch, which is this one here, and there's also a 24-inch, which is well wide enough. It's wide enough for pretty much any yardage, unless you got wide back, and then you can just fold it over 3 times. They are an investment. They're not cheap, but they are handmade here in the US. I think they try and use as many US um, materials as they can, and it's by a small business, and it's well worth for me, I feel it's well worth the investment that you would put into it. So there you go. All right, I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss too much. Good morning, Jamie. It's good to see you from the quilting compound. I'll throw her link in as well. And then my friend Janice is here as well from the Right Way. Both good friends of mine. I adore both of those ladies. I just threw their links in as well. So we are working on what? Clues 3, right? I'm just not with it today, but that's okay. So Teresa says that the trim it rule is absolute best. I have the slide locks as well. I have not invested in the trim lock rulers for the simple fact that I would need like every size they had, because with the little projects that I do with those Elizabeth Hartman Art East projects, there's so many different sizes. But yeah, I've seen them in action, and I think they work really, really well as well. I might get some at some point, but okay, here we go. Next up is this. Are you doing a small or a large on this, Rob?
I'm doing a small. I figured for
I,
my first time, I didn't want to get overwhelmed. So I'm just going to do the small this time.
the small is nice too. Like I've done the smalls. This is my fourth puzzle mystery quilt. The first three have all been smalls, and this is the first time that I've been given a large. And I I like this. I really did like the smalls. They're a nice size. I think they come out 48 by 60 when it's all said and done, which is a nice lap quilt. I mean, I'm 6'5", and I mean, even that size fits me pretty well as well, which is really nice. So yeah, I think for your first time, yeah, a small is definitely a good option. And even if it's your fifth time, a small's a good option as well. So there we go. All right. Did I miss something here? Someone was asking a question. I have to go back and find it for you about the pen you're using, I think it was. Okay. Richard was asking, do you always glue your seams, or do you sometimes just sew without pins or glue? That's a great question.
I don't like pins. I absolutely despise using pins. I'll
Mm-hmm.
use clips or I'll use my Soline glue pen a lot.
Okay.
I I don't know. I'm one of them believers that when you pin something that you're, minutely altering the shape, and it changes. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. It's just this is what works for me.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, you do you. So why don't we put that out in the chat? I think it's a great question for let's do a poll. Donna's probably laughing at me right now because she's like, you love your polls. And yes, I do. So let's see. Do you prefer to pin, clip, glue, or other? Let's see. Hang on, I'm getting there. Clips, pins. What was my glue?
Or glue.
I'm a rebel and don't need any. Okay, so I've just put the poll in. So if you're watching the live chat, let me know that if you prefer to use clips, pins, glue, or you're a rebel and don't use any. And if you're watching the replay, just put it in the comments which one you are. So that's today's little question. I think that'll be fun there as well. I am definitely a fan of clips. I prefer to use clips, but if I don't have to use anything, I won't. So I think for the majority of things, I don't use clips or anything else there like that. But if it's a long piece of fabric, like a lot of stuff going together, or it's something that has to be precise, like pieces going, then I will probably use clips at each intersection. But yeah, I use pins if I have to, but primarily only when I'm doing applique. I think it's really good for applique because you can't really do it at the edge. But other than that, yeah, I try to avoid the pins as well.
I also think that the glue helps stabilizes your if you have bias edges that you're working with.
Yeah,
I think it helps to stabilize that a little bit as well, especially
I think
since these are not um, starched previously. So it's easy for you to get your biases edges kind of stretched out, and you don't want that to happen.
right. Oh, I need to add a. Okay. I don't know if I can do that. Okay. Jeanette said I need to add any or all of the above on your poll. Yeah, I should have done that, but it's a bit late. I don't think I can change it now. So, yeah, the only option I have is to end the poll. So I'll keep that in mind for the next go around. So there we go. Um, okay, let's see. Actually, what if you use one but prefer another method? I was thinking more like what is your go-to? Like, I'm not saying it's just the only thing you ever do. Um, let's see. Debbie. So if Debbie says she uses all, so in April Saltel says she likes pins. Fallon doesn't use anything unless it's for a row border. Then I use pins. Sonia uses all of them. Depends on what she makes. Joyty depends on the project. Um, Jamie from the Siberian Wind says pins if I can't get away without it. So yeah, it's nice to see that, there's a wide variety. Like, you ask 10 quilters that question, you're going to get 7 different answers. Okay, where is my
I
color
think
chart?
the most important thing is do what you feel comfortable. Do you. Don't think you have to
Oh, for
emulate
sure.
anybody else. You do what you feel comfortable doing.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And I say that on my channel all the time. You do you. Like, if what works for me may not work for you as well. So, okay. Polly says she pins when garment sewing, FPP and EPP clips, applique glue pins. Yeah, I think the pins are really good for garment sewing from what I hear. I don't do a lot of garment sewing. I try to avoid it like the plague. It's just not for me. I love seeing what people do with garments, but I just don't have the desire to make it. Um, there we go. All right. Teresa says, Fallon, you and Matt should come to Raleigh for QuiltCon and set up a few rulers. You'd make lots of money. QuiltCon is here in 2026. Yeah, so QuiltCon is coming to Raleigh in 2026. They announced that to
It's coming.
the, it is. They made the announcement to the members of the Modern Quilt Guild early this week. So it was speculated, but it is now official that it's coming in 2026. So I will be making my pilgrimage down there for the day like I did this year. So now you can all make your travel plans.
Excellent. That
It'll
just
be in,
gave me goosebumps, I'm telling you, because I wanted so badly to go this last year. And it's hard when you have animals to just duck away someplace because it costs more for me to, excuse me, it costs more for me to board the animals than it does for me to go on the vacation. I mean,
oh,
we're
for
talking,
sure.
I have 4 dogs. That's at least $100 a day in a kennel, and I don't want to put my kids in a kennel.
Yeah,
I've been lucky in the past. I've had friends that I could rely on that would come and stay here with the dogs.
yeah,
Obviously, I had to pay for their transportation to come down here, but it's a lot cheaper doing that than an animal in a kennel. And
yeah,
they're I can't. They came from being in cages when I rescued them, and I don't want them thinking that they're going to go back to that kind of a lifestyle
yeah. No, for sure. But now
because
you
it
have
just
time. You've got time
tears
to
me
figure
up
it
when
out, which is good. Yes. So yeah,
well
if anyone hasn't heard that, now you know. 2026, you'll be able to, yeah, come to Raleigh and hang out with us all. As I said, I'll probably go down for the day again. That kind of worked out well for me. Um, give out the hugs, say hi to everybody. I got to meet a bunch of wonderful people down there this year. I'm looking forward to going back and doing it all again in 2026. Next year, it's in Phoenix. I know there's a lot of people going out to Phoenix. It's highly unlikely I'm going out to Phoenix, especially if it's coming back to
yeah
Raleigh. Then
I've already I already researched. I researched prices to methods of transportation to go to Phoenix, and it's just way out of the ballpark for me
Yeah.
to do that. And I'm not. I looked at flying, and it was almost $600
Hmm.
round trip from where I live here in Florida. And then I also checked out Amtrak, and that wasn't much better. And the thought of sitting on a bus or a
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, the Amtrak's not much cheaper. And I mean, I actually watched a video on that one day, like, why is Amtrak so much more expensive than what it is? Because, like, you figure planes would be more expensive because they have aviation gas, which is a lot more expensive than diesel or regular gasoline or petroleum, but it's because it takes so much longer and you're having to pay the conductors and the engineers and all that sort of stuff. Therefore, like a 1,000-mile trip might take 15 hours. So you're paying those conductors and stuff for 15 hours, whereas on a flight, you're paying the flight attendants, the pilots, the first officers, and so forth only for an hour. So it's actually the personnel costs, like the wages. That's why the tickets are so much more expensive. Plus, they're also paying the freight railroads to use the railroad tracks because except for the Eastern Corridor between DC and I think New York, everything is run on freight railroad tracks. They're not owned by Amtrak. So they're also paying that. So
right.
yeah, there is your little lesson in railroad economics. Um, if you didn't know. Okay, Dragonflies of Donna said Rob froze for a moment on his screen. Might be his screen. It could be, but I think he also has intermittent internet issues. So yeah, he just froze for a second. It was nothing terrible. Don't worry. Teresa was saying here a minute ago that apparently her grandma taught her how to sew and never used pins. Went to a retreat and was told I didn't know how to sew because I didn't pin. The ladies I went with didn't speak to me now because I don't pin. That is terrible. Like. I'm sorry there's folks out there like that. Like I'm all about, like you said earlier, Rob, do what works for you. Like that's like hardcore quilt police. So there you go. I'm really
Yeah, what
sorry to
works
hear that.
for me does may not work for somebody else, and that's
Yep.
fine. You have to do what you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah. You are among friends here. You can
It's just
you
the
can
bottom
you can
line.
you can pin, not pin. You can just do you. This is your craft time. You do what makes you feel good. That's how I've always believed. So,
You know,
um,
something else that I see so many uh quilters do is they just speed through their projects. I mean, I know sometimes you're on a time frame, but I relish all the time that I be with my machine here, and I'm not gonna be one of those pedal to the metal kind of guys.
right.
I like to take my time and enjoy process.
Yep, me too. And I think I talked about that on my last podcast. Like, I am like with that Alice in Wonderland project that I'm doing. They're on month 8. I'm still working on month 4. And I'm just like, I'll get it done when I get it done. I'm just enjoying the process. So I think that's important for us to know too. Like, I think sometimes we beat ourselves up where we go, oh, we're behind. Just enjoy the process. It'll be all right. Like the quilt police are not going to come out and chase you down if you don't finish on time. So, anyways, let's see. So if Debbie says that one year we'll make
Unless
it
you
to
have a
quilt,
commission piece for somebody, there really is
I,
no reason to rush.
exactly. And I'm really at the point now where I try not to do commission pieces because I always fall behind on those too. I'm just terrible. So yeah, I just do what makes me happy. Okay, so yeah, Debbie said that she'll make it once the exchange rate's better because she had a Canadian dollar. I think I think it takes like $1.35 or thereabouts, depending on which bank you go to and exchange rates and the day of the week and what's going on. But it takes about $1.35 Canadian to get $1 at this point in time. So yeah, if you go down there, you know, 100 Canadian dollars is only going to get you about 74, $75. So yeah. But having said that, if like you don't have to spend a fortune at QuiltCon, you can go there. I mean, when I went this year, I bought a 1 day ticket. It was $15 and 70 some cents with the whatever fee it was. I paid more for parking than I did for the ticket. My parking was 16 bucks. And I mean, I think I might have
Yeah,
bought a
that
bottle, but yeah, it wasn't a big thing. I expected to pay the 16 to $20 for parking. So I mean, don't think I'm complaining about it. But yeah, I mean, that was really my own expense. Yeah, my only expense. I mean, I think I didn't buy any. Well, I bought a skein of yarn. So I mean, as long as you don't spend $1 million at the vendors, you can go down and enjoy QuiltCon for a reasonably small amount of money. Obviously, yes, your lodging and net transportation and that sort of thing is an expense, which I didn't have because I live close enough. But yeah, you can go down there and not, you can go down there and hang out with all your quilty friends for the day, and not spend a whole lot of money too, which is kind of what I did. So there you go.
there are so many
Oh,
creators that I'd like to meet and say hello and thank you to.
that's the thing I most enjoyed about QuiltCon. Like I got to meet
And it,
so many of the creators that I only seen on the video, like Katie from Greenland Quilter, Donna Handmade by Ying, Beth from Goody Goods, Tiffany's Quilting Live. Like there were so many people. I mean, I'd met Becca before, but other than that, everybody else was first time. Stephanie Harris from Memoirs of the Long Arm Quilter, who's in the chat. I just want to say a special shout out to her because she hit 1,000 subscribers earlier this week as well. So it was really cool to see her and see her hit that achievement earlier this week. Did I show everybody this or did I get
congratulations.
distracted? That'll be you one day. Don't worry, Rob. You'll get there.
That's
Um,
not my main focus. I just want to make videos and share the love of my hobbies.
oh, for sure. And I never
And
thought
whether or
I'd
not
hit.
I ever become monetized, well, I'm not worried about it.
Well, you don't make a fortune on it anyway, I can assure you. But when I started, I did not think I'd hit 1,000. I thought I'd be lucky to hit 50. So, like if you just sit there and enjoy it, you'll do extremely well. Um, let's see. The chat moves so quickly on me sometimes. Okay, Sylvia says she likes crepes. Yes, I enjoy crepes too, but it's been a long time since I've had crepes. Yeah, let's talk about breakfast food. We always have to talk about food on Brekkie with the guy who sews. What is everybody's
Oh no, let's
favorite?
not because I haven't eaten breakfast yet and I'm starving.
Are you supposed to eat before you come? I know. I have to. I go through the same thing as well. I always make sure I have my coffee, and then I'm like, oh, whoops, I haven't eaten yet. Okay, so, um, let's see. Alexandra says my friend has sewn for years. I would class her as an experienced sewer, but she takes forever to sew a seam. I'm a pedal to the metal kind of sewer. And again, yeah, whatever works best for you. Like sometimes I work fast, and sometimes I'm just like la di da di da. Like when I cut my fabric for the yeah, the technical stuff. I just take my time. I put on a movie or I put on YouTube and I just take my time. I am not going to rush that cutting because if I do, it's going to be an
Now,
absolute
Sean, do you
mess.
starch
Do I starch? No,
your fabric?
no. I have starch. My friends at Art East were very generous and sent me a full acorn pressing kit. And I always forget to starch everything until it's already cut. And you're supposed to do it beforehand, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
So I haven't done it yet. I've used the Acorn glue pen. That thing works beautifully. But that's really the only one I've used. I actually do have some homemade starch here as well. That's my friend Gloria from the she's part of the quilting bee a couple of hours up the road. I went up and visited a few months ago. She gave that to me. I've used that once or twice, but again, I always forget to starch it until afterwards. So yeah, do I starch? I might as well say no, because I mean I've probably done it a handful of times overall. Okay, Richard says he drinks tea. I used to drink coffee every morning, but I haven't had a cup of coffee in over 46 years. Coffee bothers my stomach now. Well, that's no fun. But tea is good too. I enjoy tea, and it's really, really good if you have like during the winter if you're sick, like if you have the flu or pneumonia or bronchitis or whatever else as well. So, Sonia's doing something. Oh, okay. Sonia says I have a friend coming over to learn how to make her first quilt, and I made cinnamon rolls for us. What time do I show up and where? I love cinnamon rolls. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there you
Oh,
go.
I'd love to have one, but I can't.
I know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Okay, Rose Garland Creations, Catherine says hi from Aussie land. I know you've told me before which part of Australia, but um yeah, what part of Australia I'd love to hear. I'm originally from Australia for anyone that may have popped in that's new. And yeah, been here 20 some years, still kept the accent, which is really nice. I actually got to talk to a another gentleman from Australia at work the other day. He called up on the phone and I immediately recognized the accent, which was really fun. Okay, another poll. Do you start? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we got to end this poll. Ah, Granite Falls, Western Australia. Okay, very cool. Okay, so eight. Yeah, so it's 8 p. It's almost 9 p.m. where she is. Okay, so let's see if we can do another poll. Okay, oops. It's, yes, no, sometimes. And then we'll put Sean's response whenever I remember. Okay, so the poll is now up. You can put, oh, there's my friend Sheila. I haven't seen her in a while. It is really, really, um, really, really good to see you. Good morning from Yorktown. Sounds like you're all having an interesting conversation. Absolutely, yeah. We never know where this is going to go. I tell my viewers, not my viewers, my guests, we just talk about whatever comes up, and we always have a good time. And the viewers always enjoy it too, which is the main thing. Okay, what am I doing here? Where am I? Okay, I'm in my sewing room. So we've done this. Okay, I'm going to show you all, and this is really showing me off on this puzzle mystery quilt. So if you can see, oops. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so the A here you can see is really light and the D is really dark. This is my A fabric, and this white is a D. It's totally opposite. So it's throwing me off something fierce. But we'll make it work. Here we go. Okay, now in business. Does anybody else talk to themselves while they sew? If so, you're in good company. You are not alone. There's no need to be afraid or ashamed. Good morning, Naomi. It's good to see you. All my friends are coming out this morning. It is really, really cool to see everybody. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us as well. Okay, Sylvia says she sometimes starches. She'd like to try to starch pen. Someone. Okay, good morning. Oh, my friend Angel is here. Good morning, Angel from Halo Inspirations. She has a wonderful little quilt shop in Williamsburg, Virginia, that I have not had a chance to go visit yet, but I will go up there one day soon. Maybe Sheila can come down and visit as well because she's not that far from that. We can all hang out and have a good time together. That'd be fun. Let's see. Alexandra said she always steams presses her fabric before I cut it. I only starch if I have a lot of bias seams. Richard says he bought Best Press and hasn't ever used it. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. Thank you for that. Everyone's making me feel a whole lot better. Thank you so much. All right. Good morning, Denise. I don't know if I said that to you yet. So good morning to you. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I often talk to myself, and I find it helps me stay focused. I don't know about anybody else. Um,
I
what
have
about
my
you, Rob?
dogs to talk to, and they keep me company.
I should use that excuse. I should just say I'm talking to the dogs because Copper and Finley are both sitting here in their crates, which is next to me, sleeping. So
I got my three big Well, two of my big boys are up in the bed in my bedroom right now. They're locked in there.
Right.
Um, one of my other big boys, he's laying beside me, and I don't know where my little Journey disappeared to. He's so small, he gets in all kinds of little areas.
Yeah.
But I bet you if I call him, he'll come running. Journey, Journey, you want to biscuit? Oh, I don't know where he's at. Oh, he's right underneath my feet.
That's how Bandit was. I think it's a miniature dachshund thing. So
Here's my little boy.
I love that. I've Dachshunds are by far my favorite breed, and so it's always fun to see another little one. So there you go. My This is one of the reasons I go live at 8 is that my dogs, like, they wake up, they come down with me in the morning, they eat, they go outside, and then they come back and go to sleep. So if I went live in the afternoon or the evening, they want to go in and out, in and out, in and out. So it works so beautifully as well. Okay, let's see.
Well,
So
Sean, I'm
well,
at a little bit of an impasse at the moment.
okay,
I until I can press these out, I can't put the these together just yet. I don't want to take.
okay,
I want a good crisp seam.
yeah,
So
I understand.
I'm just gonna sit back and watch you do your thing,
Okay, not a
and
problem.
I'm gonna
That
play with the dogs here. While
Hey, everyone loves the dog. So if you want to pick the dogs up and show them off, or the dog, that is more than fine. Dragonflies for Donna is saying here, would it be easier to highlight the directions with the highlighter color being your fabric color or even a line marked with a crayon? I love that idea. I had not thought about that, but yeah, in the past it's been fine, like with Carnival, and I think it depends on the colorway as well. So don't let this put you off doing a puzzle mystery quilt because it just seems localized to this particular colorway. But I love that idea. I might have to go grab some highlighters and actually do that for the next set of clues because that's a brilliant, brilliant idea. So thank you so much. This is why I love my viewers. Like, they always come up with the best ideas, especially Donna. She's always given me wonderful ideas as well. So thank you so much for that. I think that'll be something I'll do. And I was telling Rob yesterday when we did a test run to make sure everything worked. Another viewer suggestion from when I did, think it might have been. No, it was lavender two goes ago. I actually clip. I sort all my fabric out before I start and separate it by step, and then that way it's all together. And it's a whole lot easier. So yeah, I do listen to all the suggestions everyone sends in, and I utilize as many as I physically can that works for me. So thank you for that. Okay,
that's
Teresa
what I
West
did
says she's
last
talked.
night.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I think it
sorted all
worked
my
out beautiful.
pieces and made. Well, I had already checked my kit, so I knew all my pieces were there. But I just sorted them so I could kind of zip through it this morning. I'm surprised I got done so quickly.
Yeah, it's if you organize it like that, it's really really interesting how quickly you can get through it. So that's really really cool. Okay, so yeah, but I think I'm going to definitely use Donna's idea and do the highlight thing because yeah, this one's just throwing me through a loop right now. Yeah, she says
Sean,
yeah,
let me ask you a question real quick. How do
yeah,
you
sure.
keep your monthly clues? Do
Okay,
you keep
so
them in like
I have a
a storage
12.
box?
I do. I have a 12 drawer organizer, which you can't, it's sitting underneath the steam press. You can't really see it. But I put the spring one in one drawer and the fall one in this drawer next to it. And it all just sits there together. I keep it all in the little packages and it's worked out beautifully. I've done it since day one. And that's worked out really, really nicely for me.
Yeah, I went and bought some craft cases and I'll keep my puzzle mystery quilt in that. What I do
Yeah,
is I'll take the original instructions like this and I'll clip all my blocks to that and then just lay it on top. And I try not to move anything around so that they should all be in reverse order when it's time to complete the quilt. And the only thing that
right.
I keep out is the color card. I keep that always is on top so that I have access to that. You would think after three months that I would have all of these fabric colors memorized. I
Yeah.
don't. Uh,
It
but
was
yeah,
funny.
it is important to keep things separate and organized.
Yeah, it was funny to talk about that after month three. I was actually talking about that, I think, when I was doing the Clue 8 time lapse. It takes me to about Clue, on a good day, maybe Clue 7, but usually Clue 8 or 9. And then by that time, you don't really need to know it anymore. So, yeah, I never remember after Clue 3. So do not feel bad about that one bit. Let me see if I can grab one of the organizers that I use for this. Stretch. There we go. So this is what I have here. And it's part of a 12 drawer organizer. This is the carnival. And so I normally leave the color guide on top. And then each of the clues, I just put back in the bag. And then they just all sit. And then the clues
Off
themselves sit.
having a little bit of a difficulty with my internet, so I'm switching to a different um the problem.
Yeah. So that's basically how I do it. It just,
I'm gonna
once I
get
finish the,
my container here.
yeah, I just put it back in the little baggies because they fit pretty nicely in there. The
I'm
clues
sure
sit in
everybody's
here.
familiar with these.
Oh, yes. That's what I figured you were talking about.
Of
Okay.
course, I
So
have my flat
Leanna's.
Nancy here as well.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about her, but I don't know if I'm really eligible for Flat Nancy since I'm an ambassador. I mean, I've already got the kit for yeah gifted to me, so um yeah. But yeah, it's good to see how different people store it because what works well for me may not work well for someone else. Like when I talk to Becca, if you've ever seen Becca's studio, she has those wonderful big bookcases that she got from IKEA. I think it's the Billy bookcases. And she was like, she told me, she's like, I think it'd work well in your space, but I just don't have the room for them. And I've seen that she uses those cases similar to what you have. But again, in the space and the storage areas that I have, like it doesn't work well for me. But those 12 drawer organizers with this work perfectly for me because I can tip my steam press on it. It fits perfectly in the space that I have for it. So it's always good to see, the different options because yeah, everyone has different spaces and that sort of thing there as well. So what Debbie says, I use scrapbooking containers from Michael's as project boxes, and I think that's similar to what you have, right, Rob? They're like scrapbook ones. I think they're the
My
12 by
boxes
12.
came from Walmart,
Okay. Yeah, I think that's similar to what Deb's
and
talking
I think
about.
what they're 14 by 14. I think.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. No, that's a good size. So I'd have nowhere to
I
store
think.
them
Let me
really.
check the
So
label. I think it's 14 by 14. It could be 12 by 12. Let's see.
Dragonflies for Donna says, I'm shocked those drawers can hold so much. I wonder how long they hold up. Anyone had them for a long time? I've had mine now for 3 or 4 years, and they're just like they're brand new. I mean, I think the whole thing cost me $60, like for the whole cart. And I would highly recommend it. It actually holds the steam press. The steam press sits on it. I used the steam press on the card. I was a little worried about that at the beginning. Like, could I use the steam press, or is it going to like rattle and roll and do really bad stuff? And it doesn't budge. So yeah, those it works really really well. If you're looking at one of those 12 drawer cards, I think I got mine from Michaels as a potential option, and you're worried about the quality, I would say give it a go because I've had nothing but good things for mine. And then Amanda uses one of those in her classroom, and kids are not gentle. And she's had hers for a couple of years, and it hasn't fallen apart yet. So yeah, I would say the durability is pretty good. Okay. Joyce had hers for 10 years. Richard says, I've been doing these quick quilt kits for a while. Do you have any of the previous quilts to show us? Not nearby. They're over in the next room over. But if you go back, if you look at my playlist on my channel, you'll actually get to see um the finished quilts on that. So I do a time lapse each month, and then I also did the finished. Not for the first one. It's so sweet. You have to go back and look for my podcast for that. I don't know which episode it was, but last time when I did lavender, I did actually do like a time lapse of the whole thing going together, and you get to see the whole thing now. And I will do the same thing for Carnival, which is the one you just saw a second ago, in a couple of weeks when it all comes together. So yes, you can go see that, which is really fun, but unfortunately it's not close enough for me to grab. Okay. Good morning, Colleen. It's good to see you. Okay, Sean, stop getting distracted and do something useful. Where am I?
It's easy to get distracted,
Oh, I'm always
especially when you're
distracted.
trying to host a live.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
I'm terrible. Oh,
people
there we go. Is
viewers
that
don't
right?
realize how much time a creator has to put into his channel, and it's really disheartening when you don't get any kind of response from your viewers. I love interacting like you do, Sean.
Yeah.
We love interacting with our family members, our subscribers, and that's what I call my subscribers. They're my family members
Yeah.
and my friends, and I love being able to interact with them. I'm not always great about interacting right away. It may take me a few days, it might even take me a week, but I do somehow, some way respond to all the comments.
Oh, for
And
sure.
Sean,
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure
does.
you're the same way.
Oh, for sure. I love hearing from my viewers. I mean, I say that on every video, and I mean that with every beat of my heart. I love hearing from my viewers. Like every time my comment comes in, it's like, yay, someone else I can talk to. So it's really, yeah, it's if you're able to, like, and I understand some folks watch on a TV or if they're on their phone watching, it's, especially those tiny little keys, it's not always possible or easy to write a comment. But if you're able to, if you enjoy a video, definitely hit the like button because it does help the analytics. It does help the creator get shown more on YouTube, which is how we all grow. But if you're able to leave a comment, like some people leave just a couple of love hearts, just to show that they love that, and to me, that's wonderful. So if you're able to, it's very, very, very much appreciated. So there we go. All right, let's see. I think I've finished block 9. Hang on, this is not clue 9. I recorded clue 9 last night of Carnival. I'm still getting confused. Okay, let's see. Did I do this right? I was so proud of myself last night. I did clue 9 last week with Amber on my live. I did not have to pull out Jack. And I was doing my time lapse last night, and I got down to the final scene without having to use Jack. I'm like, yes. Then I pulled the block. And I looked at the block and I was like, oh, dang it, I put it on backwards. So, yeah, I always tell people that I have to pull out Jack probably at least once during just about every clue. And I thought I might have gotten away with it. No. So, there we go. All right. So, this is block 9A, whatever number
I
this is,
love
A.
those colors.
I do too. This is probably, if it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorites. Um, with the puzzle mystery quilt so far. So this is, yeah, number A, and then I don't know that we'll get block 9B done today, during the live, but that's okay. Um, I was panicking this
Sean, I have
morning. I
a
figured,
question for you.
yeah,
When are they going to announce the fall 2024 puzzle mystery quilt? Do you
they've
know?
already announced okay, that's a good question. They've announced the name of it already. It's going to be called Wild West. They made that
Cool.
announcement. Actually, your buddy Luane told me that yesterday. And if you go onto Cotton Cut's website, it actually does confirm that it is called Wild West. They have not announced the colorways or anything else like that. They usually don't tell that to anybody until after the reveal of the previous one. So the reveal for Carnival will be on Friday the 26th. I think it's the 26th. Hang on. Yeah, Friday the 26th. So not this Friday, but next. They'll do the big reveal for that. And after that, shortly afterwards, they'll start announcing the colorways and that sort of thing there. And I think they've done it the last 2 times. I can't see why they wouldn't do it again because everyone loves it. They've had the viewers come in and help name the colorways. They usually put out 3 options for each one. And you get to vote on which one. So that's always a lot of fun as well. Okay, let's see.
I'm very anxious to participate once again. I've really enjoyed this. The one thing that I don't like about it is the fact that I'm doing it month by month like everybody else. And if you get started on it, you want to be able to finish it because you really get into it. And
Yeah,
but it's all right. I'm enjoying it, and I would suggest anybody that hasn't tried a PMQ to at least try one.
yeah. I mean, I really enjoy them too. I mean, I'm just, this is my fourth one, so obviously obviously I like it. Um, okay, goodbye, Chloe. Hopefully the girls do well at softball practice. That's really cool. Um, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to read chat. Where was I going? What was I saying? Anyway, it
You were
obviously
talking about
wasn't.
PMQs.
Oh, the PMQs, yes. So this is my fourth one. I've really enjoyed it as well. They do have a try before you buy thing as well. If you don't know about that, you can go onto a website and you can actually, they'll send you I think half of a clue, free of charge. So that way you can test it out and give it a go if you aren't really sure if this is for you. Question here from, where
I
was
tried
it?
that.
Yeah, I've heard a few people have. I did never did. I don't know if it was a thing when I started. Sylvia is asking here, do the names of the PMQ puzzle mystery quilt, which is what PMQ is. We should do that correctly. Reflect in the design. I don't I would have to say no. I think it's just a fun name, but I think it's more to help with the colorway names. Like when I did the first one I did was called So Sweet, and all the colorways were named after different donuts. And Village Green was named after all different flowers. Carnival
There
with
you go,
different
talking
rides,
about food again.
I just brushed on it. I didn't stay on it. I so, but yeah, I think it's more just to do with the colorways and just kind of keep it all together in that way. Tree of Life is all the different trees and that sort of, that sort of thing there. So yeah, I think it's more for that sort of thing now. Okay, so that was a good question. Okay, this is another question that comes up a lot, and I am more than happy to answer this. Laura Sup is asked, says, I'm doing my first puzzle mystery quilt, and I am wondering to use a scant quarter or a regular quarter inch when piecing. You ask 10 people, they're going to give you 10 different answers. I do a true quarter inch on mine, but what I would tell everybody is what it do either or. It doesn't really matter because people do both successfully, but whatever you start on, make sure you finish it on. Don't change up halfway because otherwise it ain't going to match up at the end. So do what works best for you, whether you want to do scant or true. But yeah, just stick with whatever you figure out. Whatever you start off with, that's what you better finish on. Otherwise, there will be tears. Michelle the quilter says your dog is so sweet. I agree. I love seeing the little doxy.
He is a little lover.
Actually,
He will
now
kiss you to death. Sean, are your doxies the same way?
yes, very much so. And actually, now that I think about it, your Doxy looks very similar to Finley's father, because he was I think he was a mini, definitely a long-haired red as well. So there we go. And
Yeah,
yeah, Bandit was always
when I first got my little journey, he really wasn't much bigger than a gerbil. He was
right.
so small and so delicate, but he was a little troublemaker even back then when he was just basically 8 weeks old. He was still a little troublemaker, getting into everything. And the little guy figured out how to get up in my bed the very first day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had steps up to the bed because I actually had another dog at the same time that was in need of steps for him to get up in the bed. But this little guy, he figured out how to get up in the bed the very first day. Don't know how he did it, but he did.
Finley figured out how to open, like we had one of those canisters, the one with the latch to pull up to put the dog food. Finley watched the humans open that enough, she figured out how to open it. And
I
one
think
day,
I think I'm going to have to let mine out of the bedroom because they're in there whining and carrying on. They might need
Yeah,
either to go
bring them
out or
out.
to
We
have a
always
drink
love
of
seeing the
water.
doggos.
I'll be right back, everybody.
Okay, no worries. All right, so let's see. Joy said she had to leave. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that you hung out with us for a little bit this morning as well. Traveling Quilter, good morning. Good to see you. I don't know that we have your channel in here, but we'll fix that problem in just a moment. Let's see. Oh, hang on,
Don't
that's
get
not the right
rambunctious
one.
here now. Don't get rambunctious.
Okay, let's see what's going on here. The traveling quilter. Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and put her link in because I don't think we have that yet. Oh, too many windows open. Oh, I sound like I'm at work. Is it Lynn? Am I getting the name right? Please tell me I'm right, or at least close.
Hi, Buck.
Okay. Doggo! Okay, so Mr. Rob, do you have anything planned, like fun coming up on your channel that people should go over and check out? Or
Actually, I do.
okay.
If you don't mind me talking about it for a couple of
Oh,
seconds.
absolutely, go for it.
If anybody who watches my videos know that I always advocate helping your local humane society or rescue group or any group around the country that might need assistance. And I stumbled across an organization that it's called Kennel Quilts. And I'm sure Sean will put a link into it because
I
he already
will.
has the link in his description. And the idea is to make just small kennel quilts for like mostly for cats, but it would be for all small animals. Come back here. Come back here.
Yeah, and the nice thing that yeah, there you go. That looks really. Can you turn that around and show us the fabric on that a little closer again? Especially in the middle. Oh, okay, very cool. I thought it was the same as my knitting cats. So I was like, that'd be really fun, but that's a cute, cute fabric.
I mean, these are so easy to make, and they're basically just use a fat quarter to make them. And if you check out the website, it gives you the specifications on sizes and how to make them, and any information that you need to know. And these are so easy to make. They're not. You don't put a binding on these. They're faced. You're like birthing the quilt. You make it
Oh,
inside out,
okay.
or you make it right sides together and then turn it inside out. And the thing is, they don't want a lot of embellishments on this quilt. Something that maybe a dog or a cat or a small animal might be able to chew and ingest and make themselves sick, or maybe
Yeah.
get a claw stuck into.
Yep.
Just basically something pretty simple, and it would be a great time to free motion.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a good point. Free motion quilting, yeah, practice. But yeah, it's a nice way to use up your scraps and that sort of thing there as well. And if I remember reading it correctly on the website, which I put in the chat, you can donate to your local shelters or rescue groups as well, if you prefer, correct? Or did I make that up?
Um, right now, there's two shelters around the country. One I think is in Indiana. The other one I believe was in Ohio. That due to like natural disasters or emergencies, they're asking for. Oh, I got this little dog that's driving me insane.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a good way
They're
to,
looking for these small kennel quilts. It's a good scrap buster too. If you've got a
oh,
lot
for
of small
sure.
scraps, you can sew them together and make
Yeah,
a nice little quilt for to help keep an animal safe. Is basically
yes.
what it boils down to. These shelters, they may experience weather conditions, or they may have a fire or any kind of an emergency where they have to move animals from their location to like a foster home
Right.
or another shelter, and that other shelter or foster home may not have the space to let these animals be themselves, and they'll have to keep them in smaller crates for a short amount of time. And these little quilts, I'm sure, would be so helpful. I
Oh, for
got
sure.
another boy that
Absolutely.
wants. I got
Yeah.
another boy that wants to come up here. Come on, come on,
Yeah. I need
come
to
on.
get a couple of those made and send off to that as well. I mean, I think that'd be a great way for me to use up some of my scraps as well. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that to me, beforehand so we could actually talk about that. And I'll try
This
and
is
mention
my
on my
gentle giant. His name is Buck.
G'day, Buck. How you doing? Okay, good morning. Sorry, good afternoon to Ange, and good morning to Nellie. She says, "Sorry, I'm late. I'm here." I like to tell people you're never late. You come and go as you please. We have a set start time, we have a set finish time, but you just rock in and out as you see fit. If you're watching the replay, that's cool too. Like, I know we're very early for a lot of people, and some people have stuff to do on Saturday mornings or evening, depending on where you are as well. So, we appreciate you just tuning in wherever you are. But yeah, the kennel quilts I think is a fantastic little thing that people can help participate in. So go ahead and take a look at that website and just read through it and see if that's something that you can help out with. We very much appreciate that if you did. Mona said, did what? Says, hi, Sean, I thought your live ended. We had to terminate it briefly back about 8:20, but I restarted it, about 10 minutes later after I sorted out what I needed to sort out, and started again. So this is take two. There we go. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and finish up in just a few moments. I did finish up blocks 3A on mine in the purple mist. Do you want to show yours, what you completed?
I just the basics here.
That's all right.
I haven't sewn them together yet because, like I said, I need to press them very well. And
Yeah.
I living in the man cave here, there's just not a lot of extra space. So I'm gonna, after the stream is over, I'm going to get my ironing board out and my cordless iron, and I'll press these out, and then I will continue and get them finished shortly.
Excellent. And then you can always duck over to Rob's channel, which let me throw the link in there real quick. Um, you can go over and check out for updates on his channel as well, right? Once
Exactly.
again.
Please,
Yes,
please
please
do.
do. Yeah, I would love it if you head over and check out Rob's content. You'll get to see all the stuff he gets up to. You might even get to see the doggos once in a while too.
Oh, the dogs
Which,
usually make an appearance at least once in a video.
yeah, I always try and put Finley and Copper in my videos too, because people, hey, they haven't seen them in a while. They're like, are they doing all right? So yeah, I always try and make sure my doggos are in the video as well. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and say goodbye. I just want to say thank you to you, Rob, for coming and hanging out with us and bearing with us as we had a few tech issues and other things we had to take care of. It was a lot of
No
fun having
worries,
you.
mate.
Thank you. But it was a lot of fun hanging out with you
I'm just
today.
thankful that you gave me the opportunity to share this time with you.
Oh, not a problem. I love having different guests on. It's been a lot of fun, and um been a lot of fun hanging out with new quilters and new channels and that sort of thing there, and getting to know different people as well. It's been so much fun. So there we go. Okay, what time is Rob on? He's in Eastern Zone. I don't think he goes live at the present time, correct?
I don't do lives, no.
Okay. Yeah, but he does do you have a regular upload schedule, or do you just upload when you
I
have
really
video?
would like to do at least one video a week. Sometimes I do more, but I have other interests besides quilting as well. And I do spend a lot of time out in my garden. I do like to raise butterflies or caterpillars into butterflies.
Okay.
So that takes up a little bit of time. And of course, I got my boys, and they demand a lot of attention, and I love them to death.
Yeah, so what I would suggest folks do is go over and check out Rob's channel. if you like the content, hit the like button, comment on the videos because that's always very much appreciated, and then also hit the ringy dingy 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 bell, the notifications bell, so that way when he uploads a video, you'll know about it. And you can go over and check that out as well. So there you go. So let's see. Donna, Dragon Place with Donna is saying that remember to break out the highlighters. Yeah, I'm going to go grab some of those for next time around. So thank you so much for that suggestion. It's really, really appreciated. Richard says it's been great chatting. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. And Mona says you have a nice channel, so you have your fans, which is really cool. So thank you all for hanging out
Well,
with us
thank you,
today.
thank you.
I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button on the way out, and we will all see you next time. I'll be back tomorrow morning with my podcast, and then we'll have some other quality goodness as well. Before I go, I do want to tell everybody the schedule for lives today. We do have Donnell at Donnell Stitchery, who'll be going live at 10, which is not that far from now. So I'll throw her link in real quick. At 11, we'll have Russ, unless something's going on that I don't know about. 11:15, we'll have Tammy over at the Siberian Wind. At 3 p.m., our buddy Lewayne is doing his very, very first live. So I would love it if you go over and support my friend Lewayne. We've talked him into doing his first live. He wants to grow his channel, and we figured lives are a great way to do it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see him go live. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch it live. I might have to catch the replay, but if I can make it, I will. At 4 p.m., we'll have my friend Katie over at the Greenland Quilt to go live. At 5, it'll be Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches. And then at 6:30 p.m., we'll have Danny from So Not an Expert as well. So there's plenty of quilty goodness for you guys to hang out with. I think I caught everybody. If I missed someone, I apologize in advance. I think I put your link in there, Tammy. Did it not work? I think so. Anyway, so there we go. Thank you all again for joining me. I better go, otherwise we'll be doing our something goodbye for the next 20 minutes. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
John, thank you for all you do for all the channels and other creators.